Okay, good.
Okay, well, I'm gonna pick you, Guy.
Okay. Um, so let's see. Okay, to use the frame again, it's like what's
The
working.
pattern of what's working well, the pattern of what's not working so well, and then
Okay.
anything from the constellation.
Okay. So the pattern of what is working well is, kind of, I don't know, a lot of kind of change. Like, I did this constellation with Leslie, I don't know, 2, 3 weeks ago or something, and now I'm at this kind of really ridiculous course, and I just got some high level craziness done to me today. So what's working is transformation and change and shift and kind of in a tectonic way. That's what's working. Um, what isn't working so well is doing a lot with regard to getting together a new website for the new domain that I purchased, which I'm not too worried about. That's why I put off the coaching call right before I left, because I figured, let me come back from the class next week and have some time to work on it, and then I'll talk to Leslie and kind of see where we are. So I'm not too bothered by where things are. Um, and then, okay, what do I feel about the check-in? Yeah, I don't the exercise. I don't know really what to make of the check-in. That was the only thing I could make of what I saw Anya doing, was this kind of like arching, like something coming through the heart, like something. I called it like a birth or something. I mean, like something. Yeah, but yeah, I'm kind of like seriously discombobulated in a certain way right now. So
Well, you're a
anyway,
really lucky guy because we're going to be doing mothers tonight.
oh, wonderful. That'll help, I'm sure.
No more discombobulation for you, young.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Choose somebody else.
Okay, Diana, I can just see your shoulder. I need to see the rest of you.
How's that? Um, what's pattern of what's working well?
Yeah.
My work itself is going well. I've had some really excellent sessions with people with huge, chronic pain, can't touch anything, bruise easily, and had these very free-form improvisational sessions that worked, and that was good. And I've been, the last couple of weekends, went out of town, spent time with old friends, and have just been getting more stuff done, and came back this week. I've just been plowing through work, and last weekend I was thinking, like, what was it? What was the release the energy? I'm like, oh, we shot guns, we went bow and arrow shooting, we spent 4 hours weed whackering a cemetery and like ripping vines off trees. And wow. I was thinking, that was so nice to not just be on the computer. To like, get out there in the world. Yeah. I think that's
a good reminder.
Yeah, like being on road trips and then, doing real stuff in the world rather than just hanging out in the head and on the computer. And I've also I realized, in the habit of using my CRM, which I'd set it up, the client database.
Some people don't know what that is,
the client database with the appointment scheduler and the
And CRM stands for what?
Client relationship manager.
Yeah, so it's one of the link I'll have there for that.
And logging my SOAP notes, more lingo, the notes on every appointment. And at first I had gotten it set up, but I wasn't like in the habit, and I was a little afraid I was going to let it fall. And it was just a matter of getting in the habit, and now it's running and working for me. Great. So yeah, I'm glad to have that habit
Systems that
established.
support you, yay.
Yeah, and like I was having difficulty with a bunch of just little tech things that I couldn't get hooked up and working. And I just kind of hammered at them and got things plowed through and feeling really good about having the technology supporting me better. That took a while. And from the check-in, my business is like all kicking back, hanging out in like a sky chair with cushions and just like enjoying the grand view. Like, oh, all right. I can enjoy that, like the broad vista view.
Sounds nice.
I know.
Is your business out pulling down vines?
It sounds like post-vine pulling.
Right, with a beer, yeah. Great, thank you.
Anya?
Okay. All right, see if I can swing this around without screwing cables up. Hi, guys.
Hi, Anya.
Hi.
Hi.
So, pattern of what's working is I've been really focusing on the present moment. Like, I noticed a while back that I was kind of beating myself up for like over-identifying with being a massage therapist for so long, and that was like a story that stuck for a little while with me, and I'm feeling like that's so gone. And I actually had this really cool synchronous thing happen where, for whatever, like I put in my birthday cake order, and for whatever reason, they didn't know whether it was supposed to go to Oakland or San Francisco. So someone from their corporate office called me, but I didn't pick up because I didn't recognize the number, so it went to voicemail. So I called her back after I got the message, and then like just this week, there was a request for a consult, and it was from her. It was from the woman that I talked to at the bakery, because she had heard my outgoing voicemail and looked up my website and was like, I really need, like, this is what I'm looking for, kind of thing. And she was like super happy that I offered a free consult, and that she was just able to book it online. And we had the consult today, and like she's super excited. I signed her up for 3 sessions, and she's coming in on Saturday. So that was like, I just feel like I got a big, huge affirmation of like, yes, do the hypnotherapy, like do the change work, like, you're gonna find people are gonna find you. And so that was my like uplifting, just being open and being present with people, and just whatever, like having some systems set up, which felt really nice.
People like to see good systems when they interact with you. When they see an online scheduler that works well, or it's a welcome. It's an easy entry.
Mm-hmm.
They like it. Yeah.
Yeah, and what I feel like what's not working well is just the fact that I don't yet know where I'm going, but I'm actually getting used to that feeling of just surrender, and like at least I know that I'm moving. Like it doesn't at this point, it's mattering less to me like where I end up right now, whether it's Southern California or Portland. But I just feel like I want to refocus on my business, because I was really in like birthday mode, and like I need a vacation, and I'm just gonna like put it all to the side and just focus on having fun and communing with my community and my friends. And now that I've moved and like finally in one place and getting settled there, like that feels like I can return to a normal flow and like reestablish. And my business was really giddy and excited. There was like a lot of energy moving, and so it asked me to ground it through like meditation and just breathing and slowing down. So
Yay.
yeah, felt really good.
Cool. And anything about your constellation?
That was my constellation.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't hear the segue in there. Got it.
No, but
Yay. So the pattern, it's not of what's working well or not working well, it's just the pattern in my business is, and in my life in some ways, is finding all the shoes I've grown out of and I've not changed. I've been making do with lots of shoes, one size too small. So, you know, I got a new car, and it's a new car. It's a grown-up person's car. It's not a college car. I spent several hours today. Finally, one of the things I had not liked about my online scheduler was that it had no way to put buffers between appointments. And that was running me freaking ragged. I have so many appointments now, and it's just back to back all day long. And so I spent several hours on getting a new one up and running that I think is going to work so much better and has the bells and whistles I need. So I'm pretty close to having that done. And it's like, it's got tutorials and clean explanations, and I can figure it out really fast. Not all of those online schedulers are so intuitive. And then, as you know, I was looking for a new office. So this is actually kind of exciting and terrifying. But I went to a place that's only a 10-minute walk from where I live. And the office that I looked at was completely wrong. And he said, but I have this $800 thing. And I go, that's outside my budget. That's not what I'm looking for. But I went and looked, and it was a suite with a really nice regular office and a 200 square foot meeting room. And I began to envision like saving money at Rutramandir and having a place, and then I could sublease it out, and it's only 10 minutes away, but I wasn't looking for this. I'm really not prepared to like, so I'm very seriously contemplating doing this, which is just, it's a quantum level from I see clients in my home to having a grown-up, having a grown-up person's office. So, and I'm still in discernment about that because I'm still very excited and scared at the same time because it's a big financial commitment. And then, the other one I'll show you at the end of the night. After like 8 freaking painful months, my new website is probably going to go up next week. It's gorgeous. The process was like you know, how was your pregnancy and birth? It was like, oh, the kid took 3 days to come, almost killed me. It's been one of those births. It was on the verge of not worth it, but I stuck with it, and we're really close. So that's very exciting. And I'll show it to you at the end of the night. And then, so that's the other. This is kind of in line with that, which is that. So my brother and I have been estranged for about 10 years. Mostly at his, I mean, it was a mutual, obviously, interaction, but he was the one who wanted to be separate. And I kept on making offers for us to reconnect, and I'm saying no. So me and my sister had planned this time in Yosemite together at the end of June. He literally sent a 1-sentence email saying, mind if I hitch along? I'm like, fuck you. Mind if you hitch along? What? I spent 2 days totally triggered. That bastard! And now I'm sort of more calmly considering whether this is the new pair of shoes or not. So anyway, that had me quite properly freaked out for a couple of days. Because it's been kind of a big family drama for a while now. And for me, I don't know about you guys, but I'm really overworking with the conference and everything, and I don't have a lot of time off planned before the conference. And Yosemite with my sister was intended to be a vacation. It's not intended to be working on my relationship with my brother time. So, which it might be, or it might not be. I don't know. So, I don't know. If someone could tell me what to do, I'd appreciate it. Anyway, so that's where I am. And, you know, I mean, we're all in that place. I mean, there's always, at different levels, you're finding what doesn't fit anymore, right? And trying something different, whether it's at the ground level, beginning you're startled by what it is you find yourself considering doing because the shoes are too tight. It's not working. So that's me. So a little bit of housekeeping, the usual stuff. Just sort of reiterate, most of you are okay in this regard, but to please make your appointments. I ran into an issue with my last group, my last advanced group, which just finished and they're starting up. They just started up again, actually, in which several of them kind of got jammed up at the end. I don't know if you remember in your client agreements, you agreed to not bunch them up at the end and you could possibly lose sessions. Well, I'm not that kind of person. I mean, I have to say that, but so I jammed them all in and then I was a mess seeing all the, two people, a person twice a week over the course of 2 weeks or something. And this work does not pay all my bills. I have lots of private clients, so I need time in my schedule for them. They need to be able to see that there's something they can make an appointment for. So make your appointments. Think about how the agreement is through July 23rd. I know our last workshop is on July 2nd. The program is 4 months. So you continue to have email coaching from me and you can make your sessions up till then, okay? I know that's in a funny time because many of you will be going into vacation mode and stuff like that. But so please make your appointments and think about how you want to space them over the next few months. You're all getting really good at this, but remember to call on the telecall line to make sure you have a recording. If you can give me a report 24 hours ahead of time, that really serves your session really, really well. And then let me just ask how partnering's going, anything we need to tweak with that. Sort of happening, not happening. What's that should be happening again? It's happening, not happening.
Happening.
You guys happened. Do you have a scheduled one coming up or, okay.
Yeah, it didn't, our call didn't happen.
Kind of last minute on my part, unavailable. And then I wasn't available at all because it was supposed to be the three, Guy, Vicky and I. And so I wasn't available for the first one because I was on vacation. And then Guy and I had a time that I had to
cancel.
Okay.
Okay, so just, keep on reaching out to each other.
Vicky, did Vicky ever respond? I didn't see Vicky respond to the posting on the Facebook group saying, "Hey, from you, Julie," or someone.
Yeah.
So I didn't get a sense that she was like hooked in.
So number one, I'm not sure Vicky is hugely Facebook focused, just generally. So if you want to communicate with her, you might try email. And number two, I do have the impression that Vicky's a little distracted from the partnering. So don't let that stand in the way. Go ahead and partner. The other thing is that, we do have the formal partnering, but if there's someone here in this group you really like and dig, and they dig you, and it would just be supportive to talk, there's no rules about who you are in conversation with about whatever. Yeah? Think of this as a colleague group and reach out to the people who you're simpatico with, if it feels good, okay? And there are people who are just not into partnering. It's not their thing. And every once in a while, there's someone who says, I'm just not going to participate in that. I go, great, good to know. Then people won't be chasing you, right? So, so do we need to recreate groups this time, right?
I think so.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Why don't we make it super simple? There's Vicky. Maybe a little less simple now. Let's do that during the break. Let's attend to that at the break. We're just finishing up housekeeping. Good to see you. Glad you made it. Okay, so our topic for the night is one that's been implicit in the background, but I haven't actually focused a time on, which is one of the big chunk things I put into the publicity for this, which I hope attracts y'all, and was something I talked about a fair bit in the first meeting when I was making distinctions between the three kinds of problems. So the developmental issues, it's just about learning. the ecology issues, unconscious safety patterning, and then the last one, issues of alignment, or being out of alignment. We're going to focus on that last one today, okay? I'm going to just do this little movie. Ooh. There we go. Okay. And there we go. Should do it. And if you need to shift a little bit on you, I'm really sorry about that.
Okay.
Okay, so
Yep, I can see. Thank you.
and I just look. Okay, so this brings together a few different things that aren't actually different, but it's useful to notice they're connected. So I said the word alignment. I've also enjoyed using the language of our true north. And then this is all in the same territory as spirituality. Okay. And I want to share with you my personal journey with this, which is that I think I've shared a little bit of this around how in the early years of my business, I didn't know much about business, so I got help, and I ended up spending a lot of money on some groups that had very common business advice, but it wasn't working very well for me. Some of it was working okay, but a lot of it was making me super anxious. And I felt like I had all this ecology. And then I ran into the heart of business people who helped me find a way to discern when I am in or out of alignment around a particular business activity. So, for instance, I'm bringing, obviously I'm actually asking all the nuts and bolts questions you should ask about this large suite of this office that I'm, how much does it cost? What are the pros and cons? What are the possible pitfalls? What are the advantages? Doing all that due diligence kind of stuff. But also I'm usually in the spirituality to discern whether it's an alignment, if it's systemically proper to do. And again, once again, this is really important, is we need to remember good enough. I mentioned this before. If we don't let ourselves get out of alignment, we won't learn. We won't grow. We don't discover, oh, that isn't the right way. That isn't the right path. So it's funny, there was just a posting on a Facebook group called Wisdompreneurs about how some people who are like us find it very hard to move forward because they're so focused on issues of integrity that it almost immobilizes them, right? So you've actually got to be willing to tolerate being out of alignment to a certain degree as a feedback source. It's trying stuff out. The reality is that our business is part of life. It is part of life. And life is spiritual, right? All bits of it. So if our business is about our true work, it's about our values, it's about our contributions, about making sure that we have a good way of keeping a roof over our heads, all those things and many, many more, it is a spiritual practice. We actually don't need to reframe it or shove it in or whatever. It's just simply part of it. I'm very used to thinking that way because of my background as a minister, where work is a vocation. I'm really, really used to thinking of it in those terms as vocational, vocare, calling. Okay. So, this is all very nice, but practically, what's the practical thing behind all this? Because there are really, really practical nuts and bolts impacts of having some kind of spiritual practice or perspective around your business. The first one is just as a way to be kind of confident. Confidence. If one has a sense of being loved, of being worthy, of being safe, yeah, then it has a sense of kind of being okay in the world, and then you're not trying to get it from that next client you sign up, or from how many people sign up for the workshop, or whether it's a quote-unquote success or failure, or whether it's a high month or a low month for income, right? You're not getting any of this from that, it precedes it, right? And it's from our relationship with the divine, however we define that we get this abiding experience of ourselves. So that confidence or worthiness, you might call it, which is very freeing for the business. It's very practical because it gives us strength and courage and capacities, and it doesn't entangle our business and our neediness, which tends to be one of the patterns that really undermines business, when it has to be there to make us feel okay about ourselves. Businesses hate that.
They're so indifferent.
I don't want to be codependent to you. What?
Well, they're so indifferent to it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
We can't get anything from it.
Another thing is guidance. It provides guidance. So should I get these offices or not? It's a source of guidance, of discernment around specific things. You write some copy, you set it aside, you come back to it, and you notice all the places it's just a little off. And you rewrite those bits. Yeah? You think about an offer, and then you give it in some event or other, and then you go home and you think, oh, there's that bit there where I was just really urgent and I was scared, and I will kind of, it's a way to kind of review and look at stuff. It's a way to look at stuff from another level, and it makes us more resourceful. Obviously, it's really nice. It gives us a sense of meaning, a sense of having a path, even if there are parts of it that we don't like and don't feel very meaningful. Like if we're not systems people and we don't like them, yeah?
The it that you keep referring to, is it the sense of alignment?
Spirituality, we'll just call it that. Or having, well, it's a really good question. I'll get to that in more concrete terms in a minute.
Okay.
Spiritual practice, spiritual set of resources. That's really, yeah, I'm going to get to that. Thank you. It also provides us with support around mistakes, failures. Clients chewing us out for something. It actually gives us really practical support for those kinds of things. It can also give us a way to calm down, find center when we're out of balance.
Leslie, can you just tilt the camera down a little bit?
Uh-huh.
Awesome. Thank you.
Is that guy?
Kind of find calmness, even if it's not okay. I'm going to use this word a little bit lightly, but I couldn't come up with a better one, so I'm putting it in quotation marks. It can be an antidote for unconscious safety patterning. So let's say, we can feel ourselves freaking out about being at a networking event because social things are a little intimidating and scary for us. Some kind of spiritual practice and remembrance can help us when our safety patterning is beginning to kind of run the show a little bit. And then the last thing, of course, is it can contribute to, it's not it on its own, but it contributes to healing. And in particular, those things that are impacting business. Okay. So it's actually my experience with watching people go through the Heart of Business program is that it's completely practical. It's not just a nice extra thing. Especially for heart-based people like us, it ends up being the framework that makes it work and allows for it to grow and mature and deepen over time. So, a few of the things I just want to kind of note. I'm going to skip that. So, all of us, because of our childhood experiences and perhaps also ancestral patterning and other stuff, transincarnational, who knows, have some guidance systems that are broken. Right? So it says, this way's north, and you find yourself at the South Pole. Like, really made sense at the time. And when that happens, we lose energy, we get discouraged, it messes up our experience of business in all kinds of ways. I remember working with you, Diane, a lot in the beginning around how to manage these boundary issues, right? And some of our automatic responses is to have a strong, perhaps defensive response, which is different from some kind of clear definition, right? So that the safety patterning can make us go, or whatever it is. So we need some proper true norths. We need, I don't know if you guys know this word. I actually got lost on Google today researching this. It was so much fun. But lodestones?
No. Are those in buildings?
No.
No.
These are very ancient. The Chinese probably first discovered them, but they're naturally magnetized stones, right? So they have a magnetic field around them, and so if iron comes close, they get aligned. If they're a nice little shard, they will naturally, they were the start of compasses, right? Because they're magnetized, so they're going to align themselves with the planet's magnetic fields, okay? So lodestone now has become a metaphor for something that anchors or directs, yeah? Roots, there's different ways of talking about it, but I really like the lodestone, having our own inner lodestones. We need that. I want to talk about a dysfunctional one, but it's very common and in its own way useful, which is fundamentalisms. They're an extremely useful and effective lodestone, right? And let's just notice that fundamentalism comes in all guises. It's not merely Christian or Islamic or Jewish. I've met atheist fundamentalists, and I once worked with an Ayurvedic fundamentalist, and he really scared the shit out of me because it was just all about the and I'm like, oh, there's an energy here. But it works, yeah. I mean, it does ground. It takes away the gray stuff.
Kind
There's another way, and at this point, I want to, and I meant to, but I got lost in setting up Google Hangouts. But I want us to listen to something that's only a minute long. And I know you're looking up my nose, Guy, but I'm. So.
Just wondering.
Time for a trim there, Leslie.
No, I trimmed the other day. I'm not behind on my nose trimming.
Cut me a break.
works down the line.
Okay, so the first thing is the blessings and peace of Allah.
This is my coach/teacher,
And then
Mark
poetry,
Silver,
open the eye of your heart to catch a
and it's a
glimpse of
teaching
love.
on
Sincerity
sincerity.
is a special.
And they're Sufis, so this is from the Sufi notion, so Sufi framework. And sincerity is a very specific idea in Sufism, which the more I've stepped into it, it's been unbelievably helpful. And I know you all know this, but to articulate it can be really, really useful. And then to turn it into a practice even more so. So this is 1 minute, this is Mark Silver on sincerity and Sufism.
Sincerity is a special quality given to humans. It's an absolute desire for reality, capital R reality, no matter what. It's what draws us forward toward the source of love. No matter what deserts need to be crossed, what burdens need to be abandoned, what mountains need to be climbed. Truth, reality, both of those are divine qualities. The divine is the real, divine is the truth. Sincerity is what draws us towards the truth. It's what draws us towards the real. One way that sincerity really serves us and why it's so important is that it cuts through the drama. Because drama arises in our lives when we're invested in being right about a story that explains to us how things are. Our minds are really good at explaining things. Sincerity is not concerned with any story, it's just concerned with what really is.
Okay. Hopeful?
Yes.
Want to hear it again? Just 1
Yeah.
minute? It's only a minute. I mean, the whole teaching is a lot longer, but there's a lot of very esoteric Sufi stuff in there that I don't need to share tonight. And by the way, these guys do have, as I've mentioned before, a lot of free resources on their website. I've sent to Guy. They have an audio called Act, Where Is My Heart? That's a terrible title. It's the basic remembrance practice. And they have pay as you wish community membership, and then you get lots more resources. So the minimum they ask is $4 a month. So for $4 a month or more, if you want to be more generous and it's in alignment, you can get access to a lot more resources.
What's the website?
Heartofbusiness.com. So I'll share this one more time.
Sincerity is a special quality given to humans. It's an absolute desire for reality, capital R reality, no matter what. It's what draws us forward toward the source of love. No matter what deserts need to be crossed, what burdens need to be abandoned, what mountains need to be climbed. Truth, reality, both of those are divine qualities. The divine is the real, divine is the truth. Sincerity is what draws us towards the truth. It's what draws us towards the real. One way that sincerity really serves us and why it's so important is that it cuts through the drama. Because drama arises in our lives when we're invested in being right about a story that explains to us how things are. Our minds are really good at explaining things. Sincerity is not concerned with any story, it's just concerned with what really is. Here's a very small example.
His example is terrible. It's totally like, it's so in-house, it's like, oh, you could have come up with a better example. So I'll give you an example, which is this thing with my brother. I just told him I was sharing that, and so this is not business related, but it's a perfectly good application of it. We could run into this in business at any time. We've been estranged for 10 years, and kind of out of the blue, he wants to come along on a trip me and my sister have planned for the end of next month. And I spent 2 days freaking out. Trauma. Unconscious safety patterning. Intense, right? Every once in a while, I attempted to calm down a little bit, find center. Mostly what that made me do was not send emails I really needed to not send. Right? This is useful, this is good, right? Until I can catch up enough, if I start to hang out in sincerity about this, about my feelings and the intensity of my response, I begin to notice there's something that I need or want that I'm afraid saying yes to him would sacrifice, right? So that becomes the first place to go, because you can't go all the way. You know, we're very enlightened people. I could go to, I should be loving. I'll say yes to my brother. That's what I'll do, because that's the loving thing to do. And it's, it's not defensive, and I'm not, but it skips over all of what the deeper need or question is. So we don't want to stay in the fuck him, he did you. I could do that. I could even engage, in some kind of rational discourse with him to get him to see it my way, whatever my way is. That's usually the nicest way safety patterning shows us up, is getting into more arguments about stuff just so that you can finally get someone to see. But sincerity says, he has this lovely, lovely saying, what's true here? What's really true here? And then he has another, is love even here? Is love even here? I love that phrase, is love even here? So I'm feeling utterly threatened and scared and upset. Yesterday morning, I woke up in my heart, I almost felt like I was having a panic attack. And at that point, I'm feeling like I'm out of control of myself and stuff, right? Is love, if you can even get a hold of that question, it presupposes the answer, even though nothing in you believes it. Is love even here? Presupposes the answer is yes. And I have been hoping, we're going to talk on the weekend, a couple days away, that as I continue to engage this, if this is more of a specific remembrance process that the Sufis have, I'll be able to feel really in alignment once I finally get on the call with him. And then I can listen and find out what it is I want to do and what he wants to do, and whether there's alignment there, or whether we're just in really different spaces, right? And I can feel really good about it. So see, that's how it works. Now, another tool I use, not so much in this situation, but definitely in the question about whether I should get these offices or not, is I use the constellations tool a lot. I actually set up cards. It got very complex. It was really cool. At one point, I brought in the past tenants and my future tenants, and that was the best movement of all. For me, that's family constellations is a modality, but it's got a spiritual framework. It has a larger spiritual framework. Yeah, it's a resource for sincerity. What's true here? What's real here? There's a million others. I also use some of my own Christian mystical practice that's in the background that I came preloaded with into this work. Another thing that it does is it tends to take us out of dualisms into the third way, the I'm wrong or you're wrong sort of, it has to be this way or that way. It opens things up. It gives me a tool to pay attention to my resistance. Is this ecology, or is this my wisdom telling me that I'm not fully in alignment with something that's being asked of me? So am I freaking out around my brother just because of my safety patterning? How much of this is he asking me to do something I don't feel is genuinely not in alignment? And it gives me tools to begin to discern the difference between the two. And as I said,
sincerity gives you tools to make that distinction.
My general spirituality does.
Okay.
Yeah, of which sincerity I think is kind of a critical piece, which is why I bring it up. So to get back to Julie's question, what is this it here? I do think it has some necessary elements, although obviously I'm really non-sectarian here. I even want to make room for non-fundamentalist atheists, right, who could be included under this rubric, right? Although I don't think that describes people here in the room very well. Some sense of, so these are the elements. I'm just going to call it big love.
Elements of what?
Some assurance, some sense of the evidence of that that the big news of the universe is love. I remember a moment, the teacher of several of us in the room, Carl Buchheit, has this format in which there's a dark path and a light path, and they're both paths to the divine, and they all, in some generation, they'll come into union and blah, 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 blah. And in that version of things, it's like 50-50, it's even Steven. And then one day he said, I think there's a small bias towards the positive. And my head actually did this. He'd been teaching this for years and I'd never heard him say that. I think there's just a bit of the system's being gamed a little bit. And I went, I don't
Wonder how he came to that.
right?
Yeah,
Um,
it's very interesting.
So that's one piece. And I think even an atheist could find a version of this. You know, human beings want to be good because the world's easier when people are good. I mean, whatever. You can go towards an evolutionary, natural selection version of thing. Okay, this is connected to it, but that there's something larger. This is in some tension with the law of attraction and the idea that we're creating our entire experience. I actually think that's a very useful frame. And I think there's something bigger than us supporting us and guiding us. I just do. And I think it makes a difference when I can feel that thing that's bigger. Even if I'm it at some level. Right? In this incarnation, I'm a little squirted out bit of the creation, apparently. And even if I was the one who did the creating.
You are wise, Leslie.
I'm sorry?
You are wise.
Oh, thank you. I'm a squirted out bit of the universe.
No, just that you are like acknowledging and just saying, for me, what works is this larger frame. I mean, law of attraction, yes, and
Yeah. ...
So
Well, and here's the other thing, any religion or philosophy or metaphysics this is where fundamentalism fails, worth its cost is the capacity to hold paradox. Every good metaphysics, philosophical system, guy by the name of Gödel actually proved this mathematically, that every logical system eventually contradicts itself.
right.
So you go with arithmetic long enough and you do enough proofs, they prove that 2 equals 3. Right?
It's either that it contradicts itself, or it has to remain fundamentally open and unprovable.
Right. And it's a both and.
Yeah.
So, people have killed each other over the centuries over whether Christianity is pure grace.
Yeah.
It's just you can't earn your way to heaven, or works-based. You actually have to do something to get into heaven. Well, what if it's both? What if it's pure grace and you got to do something?
And what if it's particular to each particular person on their path, what they need to complete it? It has nothing
So
do
to be
with
able
it.
to hold paradox it tends to be really important. And fundamentalisms, the reason why they're fundamentalists is that they wash out all of the paradoxes. Lineage. This is the teaching from Family Constellations, whether we're talking about ancestral lineages, spiritual lineages, healing lineages. I remember a very long time ago being at a seminar. I was in my 20s, and this woman came in and taught us this thing. And at the end of it, I thought, you just made that all up. The whole thing is straight out of your ego. There was no connection to any wisdom tradition outside of her. You could feel it in the energy of it. Yeah? And that's one of the dangers of our spiritual freedom these days, right? Is that people they've got nothing to bounce up against to test the reality of because it could just be this brilliant thought inside, and it just may be you, right? That's why lineages become so important. It isn't to be slavish to them by any means, but be in some kind of larger wisdom context.
that be like accountability?
Accountability.
What did you say? I didn't hear.
Oh, Julie before was talking about accountability and how she needs it, but she doesn't like the word. So- And we all agreed we didn't like the word very much.
I was just being impish in that moment, bringing that back up.
It has a practice. Again, loosely defined, but, and this is the one that I struggle with because practices, I mean, I've done more of it than I think I have because I'm now getting better and better at moving through this remembrance and guidance stuff. It's like I can feel the answers coming more quickly when I used to hang out in chaos and confusion about things. So clearly I am practicing and getting better at it and acquiring a certain wisdom through doing it. But, you know, it really would help if it was daily and, you know, it's 20 minutes in the morning or whatever. But it needs to have a practice piece, a doing piece, whether it's chant, singing, yoga, meditation, reading scriptures, practices. This is a tricky, but and it's connected to the lineage piece, but having some sense of community, where the boundaries are neither too open nor too closed. Just right. Yeah. But some sense of, the Sangha thing, right? Having a group of the fellow journeyers. There's a deep teaching in most religions that wisdom comes through more cleanly through community than through the individual walking by themselves. And community has a shadow side. All of these have shadow sides, right? Practices become your disciplines and formalities, blah, blah, blah. Every single one of these has a shadow side. And then the last one is some intentional connection with business. Sitting after you've written the copy with it in some kind of practice, some kind of, when you're disturbed and upset and stuck in your business, coming to these practices. Just having ways in which we're so good in our societies at segregating out bits of our lives. We go to church, and then we have the family, and then we have the recreation, and we have the workplace. And there's no sense of them being part of a whole, right? It's the danger of having a church, is that, that's where we go and have God, right? Right? So being intentional about including the business in your spiritual practice and understanding it as a spiritual path. Thoughts, questions. I'm sure some of you, this is kind of old hat, but I hope even for you, it's useful to be thinking about how, oh wow, that's right, I haven't really been connecting and hooking it up with the business as clearly. So some feedback, how is this teaching for you? Or questions or anything?
I'm having trouble understanding what you're teaching. I get all of the concepts.
Yeah.
That's when I was like at the beginning, like in the it that you were referring to, I'm not understanding what the larger context of this teaching is. And I mean, I feel like maybe it's so obvious that, so I'm just kind of missing the title page or the headline of what this is.
So the difficulty of it is that I have to stay non-sectarian. So I'm not going to tell you all go out and join a monastery or become a Sufi or follow Mark's teachings or anything else. So there's a certain quality of vagueness in it's really interesting to be part of the Heart of Business community where he's definitely a business coach. He's 100% a business coach and he does it with Sufi teachings and he does not water it down. that's really interesting.
Is
I
that
don't think
what-
I could ever do that with my Christianity or anything else.
You don't water either of them down, is what you're saying, the business or the Sufi?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, but mostly not watering down the Sufi thing.
Oh.
And he doesn't require one to be a Sufi or believe in Sufi stuff, but you're gonna have to have some tolerance for it if you're gonna receive his coaching. I'm not like that, and it's not an instinct for me. So I keep it more general, which is that having a spirituality and experiencing your business as spiritual path makes a big difference of being successful in business.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I can be more concrete than that.
Yeah.
No,
And leave
that,
you
that,
complete freedom.
no, that's very
good.
concrete.
Okay.
That's the piece that I was missing,
Okay,
because what I thought, you started off by saying that we were gonna be talking about issues of alignment, or, that today's topic was around issues of alignment, that one of the three things that
Right.
tend to be blocks for us. So
Right.
you may have made the segue from that,
Got
or, you know.
Okay, yeah,
It
yeah.
was just sort of like swimming in this content that's very
Right.
familiar, but I wasn't linking
Right.
it to.
Right.
to
For
that.
me, finding alignment is the same as having a spiritual path. They're basically the same set, different ways of looking at it. Yeah. We'll start here.
So for me, yeah, I get that too. My context of spirituality leads me to alignment
Mhm.
for me.
Yeah.
And then alignment, I see it as almost one level down, and that leads to the alignment of everything else you just said, so that when I get lost, I go back into my spiritual practice, which is basically just a meditation and a way that I know how to find my true north, my center, as I call it,
Right.
so that I can ask from there rather than from the confusion or the chaos or whatever's pulled me off that day. I
Safety
know,
patterning, yeah.
yeah, I know how to just go right into that place if I'll just do it.
Mm.
And I mean, I've been so good at it before, but that's where I got lost.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
6 to 10 years ago,
Yeah.
truly lost, like 5 years ago with my son. I gave too much to him and wasn't taking care of myself. And this is really helping me. All of this is just to sort of remember what I already know. You know, to
Right,
just,
right.
it's like, I have to meditate every day.
Mhm.
I mean, this is so my true north. I
Yeah.
just like, everything comes out of that. Everything I've built has come out of that, you know, and I actually just forgot it. I got into the drama so much that it took me so off. It knocked me so off. So it's really nice. I've been remembering it all week, and so this is just a really nice
Well,
recap, and nicely said the way you put it all together. It's like, cool.
and just to reframe,
Different words.
in a spiritual context, you're going off. Because that's how I look at that Time Thrive Academy.
Me
It
too.
was me going off. I'm actually really grateful for it.
Yeah.
Because it really showed me my path. And
I think I'm
and
finding
then
that too.
because of how I made up, I don't know if this would be inevitable for other people, but it set me right back to my path.
Yeah.
Now, for other people, it might leave you, well, then what is my path? So, but for me, it was like going so committedly down the wrong path for a while. Really was a very beautiful learning experience. And I wouldn't want that to always be what I need to learn. You only kind of want to do those one every 20 years or so, maybe 3 times a lifetime. It's about how often you want to do that.
This has been a bit painful, I have to say.
Oh, it was unbelievably painful, and it was at least $13,000. So.
Oh, I
let's
think
talk.
I've already. I'll get close to it anyway.
But like, I think back to the times I was sobbing in open groups. Oh God, it's just very humiliating stuff. But I actually look at it with a great deal of gratitude. Because when I found Heart of Business, I went, oh. And if I had stumbled on Heart of Business without that contrast, I might not have noticed.
I feel that way about you, Leslie.
Yeah. You had to go off the path.
Yeah, and then when I started talking to you,
Yeah.
was like, I'm like, oh, this is what that was missing for me. And seeing all this now is like, it's really putting into perspective for me. And I'm actually noticing like, oh, the reason I went unconscious in my business for a while, I wasn't actually, I didn't have a practice. like I wasn't feeding that part of myself.
Mhm.
So it's like the confidence waned and like
Mhm.
the engagement and the excitement to like work with clients, and then like my body energy and everything. Yeah, and then, you know, I started doing yoga. I started really focusing back on what makes me happy
Yeah.
about the work that I do
Yeah.
and how I work with people. And then it just like, the energy just came back and like relit kind of that fire.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it will, there are cycles. It will wax and wane. We'll forget and we'll remember. We'll forget and remember. That's why this we call it remembrance practice. I want to share this with you. This is really important. I had a very strong experience. I was on a coaching call, part of business coaching call. He was doing a remembrance. And I was once again getting distracted, as I always do. And I was beating myself about getting distracted, as I always do. And all of a sudden, I swear to God, I heard God's voice. I have not heard God's voice very often, but I heard God's voice, whatever that is. It said, Leslie, you don't understand. I'm just glad you keep coming back.
Oh, I love that.
And since then, all of that sort of push around it has kind of dropped out. And if, you know, so, and I did mention that there's a shadow side to each one of these. I really don't want us to fall into the shadow side of practice, which is, you know, empty forms. I remember running into that one after I left seminary. When I was done with seminary, I had gotten into the practice of doing book Common Prayer, morning prayer every morning. And I was like halfway through it one morning and I said to myself, I fucking hate this. And I closed it. And I love morning prayer, but there was something about it had gotten empty. It had gotten totally empty. Empty forms or, you know, the beating up around, oh, I'm not doing my prayers today. You know, the shoulds and all that stuff. Because as much as we can keep it in a mode of being drawn in, or we have to apply a little effort, but the little bit of effort actually, once we sit down, it's like real easy. That's the goal of where we want to be with this stuff. And then, of course, you know, the more we do it, Paul says, pray without ceasing. So in Russian Orthodoxy, there's this amazing practice called the Jesus Prayer that if you're a very serious starets, they call it, you just say this line over and over. You say it 1,000 times. You come back to your starets and you've said it 1,000. Now say it 10,000 times. So once you've done it, you know, 500,000 times, it's just with your breath. It's no longer anything you have to do on manual anymore. It's just your breathing, right? So the goal is just to have this kind of awareness available on a regular basis because we've practiced it enough.
You called it star root?
Oh, sorry, it's a Russian word. It's a starets, which is a Christian holy monk teacher
I was
guide.
thinking star root, that's kind of cool.
It's a person?
I'm sorry, Anya?
In Russian, starets literally means elder.
Elder. Okay,
Yeah,
that makes sense.
yeah.
Can't see the word clearly because
It's STRETZ. Okay, so what time are we at? We're really at a good time. So there's one other aspect of this I want to get into very briefly, which is, again, a little bit more focused on business. There were teachings from Thrive I liked, and this is one I liked, which is Jesse talks about the difference between your, I don't remember the word he used for it, but the public mission. I help you lose weight, I get rid of anxiety, you know, your public mission, and what he calls your stealth mission. This is actually important to figure out so that you don't go doing copy with your stealth mission, because it usually doesn't help. Sometimes your stealth mission is your public mission, but not very often. So your stealth mission is like, you know, something like that everyone may become one with God, or that, you know, they will discover that they're fine just the way they are, or, you know, and it doesn't tend to go into the copy because people don't know that's what they want. They don't know that all they want is to not have anxiety anymore. They didn't know that what they needed to find out was that they're okay the way they are, right? And if you did say, I'm going to teach you how to be okay the way they are, they'll say, fuck you, I want the person who gets rid of my anxiety. Right? So I really like this notion of the stealth mission. What's the deeper kind of spirituality of your business? And so I want to just invite you for a couple of minutes right now, and then we'll go into a break, to just sit with that question. Now, there are some businesses where the stealth mission and the public mission are the same thing, right? We do understand. Julie's has, her niche isn't impossibly, they're close to being the same thing, right? That self-love thing.
Yeah, but I'm wondering if that ought to be the stealth mission.
Well, it's not an ought to, it's actually what, stealth is really what you really, 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 really want to have as an outcome for people.
Right, but I think as a public mission, it's on the surface not compelling. It's sometimes repellent,
The self-love?
I think.
Okay.
I was at a Tony Robbins when he went around the room and asked, okay, what kind of business are you in? People got up and said, oh, I do blah, 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 blah. And he said, and what do you really do? And then everyone into, the stealth mission, and their voice would change, whatever. It was very beautiful.
Mm.
And there was no right or wrong. It was, this is what you do. And what business are you really in? He'd ask. And someone would say, like, what brought you into this? And what are you really doing? And it was just like so beautiful, because that's where people would just go back to their heart and find themselves in tears. It was just so cool, just so simple. And what do you really do?
Yeah.
Oh, what business are you really in?
So I'm going to invite you into, not as long as you deserve and need on this topic, but I'm going to give you 5 minutes just to be with yourself on what's your stealth mission.
This is not the break, right?
It's not the break.
Okay.
5 minutes to sit in some contemplation, some writing, some prayer. What's your stealth mission? What are you feeling really called to do for and with people? So my answer to this changes each time I sit with it. Right now, I help people return to themselves. I think I'm in the soul retrieval business right now.
That's very similar to what I said too.
So what would you say?
It's very similar, so I help people. I point the way back to the God of your own heart.
Nice. Excellent.
Simple. Well, maybe not so simple.
Another one? And it can be messy and uncertain at this point, that's fine.
I wrote down 6 different things, so I'll just. I think the one that really stands out for me that I'm most attracted to is connect people to divine love and unconditional forgiveness.
Okay.
Get really emotional saying that, so I know it's really there.
Nice. Cool.
It's funny, I just had this conversation this weekend, and I can't remember what my friend exactly asked about my work, and it particularly was talking about chair massage and, you know, being in crazy spun up corporate settings and just still being able to do good work. And she's like, well, how do you do it? And I was just like, well, I bend time around people.
That's awesome.
But it's entirely what I think of, because,
Yeah.
right, to get
Yeah.
like natural time
Yeah.
versus like computer time. Like, and if you're going to shift dimensions, typically there's a sense of time shift.
Yeah.
And yeah, coming into the animal body as well as then moving into theta state or different dimensions of your own like, sense of self and sense of spirit, there's always a time shift to it. And so, yeah, I'm delivering some good physical stuff, but more I'm, bending time.
That's
I like it.
awesome.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And you?
Julie or Guy?
And some of the things that I had on here were a sense of feeling enough, feeling a part of, seeing how you belong, confidence in your mattering,
Say that again.
confidence in your mattering, which is probably not grammatically correct, but that's
Oh, it's very evocative though.
In your mouth.
mattering, that you matter.
And
Not your
matter.
nattering.
I know.
Like,
That's beautiful, yeah.
Mm.
That's lovely. That's the title of a poem
Yeah, it sounds like it.
or a blog. And Guy, what'd you come up with?
Well, I didn't need 5 minutes, but I don't. Listening to what everybody else came up with, I'm not sure. I question whether I did it right. But for me, it seems pretty simple and straightforward. And what it is just healing, transformation, and awakening.
Okay.
But yeah, I like some of the more poetic renditions that you guys came up with.
I also wrote, I reinstall your inborn GPS system. That's the suicide. I like that.
Reboots.
Yeah, reboot.
Yeah. You know what? The only way to make this work is to turn it off.
Yeah.
And turn it
Let's
back
just
on.
start to do full to reinstall. There
Good.
you go.
So we're gonna have a break now. I'm not quite sure where we're at on partnering. So it had been Vicky and Guy and Julie, and that didn't happen.
Not at all.
And then Diane and Anya. And the first time it was, I remember Diane and Guy, so it had to have been the other three. That means you haven't been in a threesome yet, so let's put you in a threesome. And let's put Anya in the threesome. And then, and Guy, because Guy was in a twosome the first time around. So then it's Julie and Vicky, okay?
Good, because I needed to call you anyway about something.
So you have a break, see if you can do some, either actual calendaring is best, because then you're off and running, But if you can't pull that off, then a plan for how you're going to.
Okay.
Okay?
Guy, what are your days that you're?
So what you guys surrounded.
Okay. My days off that I'm not in the office are Monday, Tuesday.
So what was Anya? What was the question to me?
What are your best times? Yeah,
What are my best times?
7:30 when driving home from work.
Yeah, driving home from work are good times generally. So like, 7 o'clock in the evening, those are good times.
Okay.
Or if you can go for, if we're gonna do 3 of us, it kind of has to be an hour, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So either that or sometime on a weekend, you know.
Okay, I could do like a Saturday morning usually.
Like 9?
Oh, wait a minute. No, evening, not in the morning.
Oh, the weekend in the evening?
Evening. No, I'm saying like evening during the weekday, 7 p.m. or sometime on a weekend or something. Right now, why don't we,
Yeah, and what was your objection to Saturday morning?
You want to call me then?
well, this Saturday I'm in Virginia, I'm in a class, I'm in a training,
Okay.
so I'm not available this weekend. I could do sometime maybe, let's see.
I'm totally available next Tuesday evening.
Yeah, next Tuesday evening, I actually would be available earlier because I'm on the East Coast. So my class ends at 6. Well, actually Tuesday is the last night before I leave. So maybe not Tuesday. Geez. Yeah. See, the challenge is this is where I'm like, the next week for me is kind of tough because I'm in this training
Next week.
and
Yeah,
Okay.
the first week.
Hey, Diane and I.
so it could be the weekend of the 30th or 31st.
Okay.
Sometime on a Saturday or Sunday.
Yeah, well, how about Anya and I will talk this weekend, and then the 3 of us will all talk next weekend.
That sounds good. Yeah.
Great.
Super.
And then,
Yeah. Right now, the only thing I have next weekend, the 30th, 31st, is I have a call with Leslie at like noon.
Okay, can we do 10 to 11 on Saturday the 30th?
10 to 11 on Saturday? Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, that should work. 10 to 11. Only I have to translate that into West Coast time. 10 to 11. What's that?
1 to 2.
1 to 2. Thank you. So I'm going to enter it into my phone. It'll be wrong. Anya and
What, 10, did we say?
Yeah, 10 to 11.
And then, do you guys want to use my conference line?
Sure. Can you send that via email?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay, so all 3 of us, Saturday, 30th.
Awesome. Okay. Cool. All right. Wunderbar. I'm going to go use the facilities. Leslie, should I reboot my machine or try to restart the Google Hangout or something? No?
No. We can see, well, we've got this funny little avatar
Okay. All right.
of it just not, once you get Google Hangouts going, it's a slightly temperamental system.
So it's better to just leave it be. Okay. All right. I just thought I would ask. Okay.
As long as you can see us.
All right. I will be back.
Is there a water fountain in the building?
There's a sink. Yeah, there's a sink. I've never.
It's right behind them. If you go. Does anyone need a nibble? These really awesome crackers.
I'll try one. Now that you described it.
They're rosemary and raisin. Yeah, really good. They have ones, yeah, they have ones with fig and something else. But they're from Trader Joe's. Really good.
I was supposed to call you about something. I'm trying to find my notes.
Leslie suggested that you
Yeah, that's
Call me about-
Call me about something else. Do you remember what it was?
less than structured systems or something like that.
The what?
But not using, like not really needing superstructure systems or something. That's what my big recollection is.
Yeah,
Like not necessarily needing a lot of infrastructure.
not needing a lot of infrastructure, but just looking at the infrastructure. I'm aware of that. But, I'm looking at just things pretty simple stuff to shore up. It's pretty straight, steady stream. Plus.
Yes.
Crunchy, crunchy. Just thinking.
Thank you.
So I don't know.
I found.
They are gluten full though, just so you know.
Thank God.
Are you back, Guy?
An extra side of gluten.
Wow, but the cake we got from Mariposa Bakery was amazing.
Oh, good.
I got a carrot cake from them a couple years ago, and I remember that was good, so I was like, there's gonna be some gluten-free people at my party. And my boyfriend really doesn't like much gluten, so I'm like, I'll get a gluten-free cake.
Whoa.
Really
You're back, Guy?
I'm back.
Okay, let's regather.
Yeah, see, I have a really weak system on that. It works for me, but it's not. It's not locked. It's a pretty soft system.
Okay, so we're gonna move into constellations. We're super shifting gears now.
Super shift.
You know, parental units are important in our lives, right?
Yep.
And we can kind of guess that maybe they're impacting our businesses, maybe.
Good guess.
So, somewhat generically, and somewhat not, I've come up with a method for us to start clearing up some parental dynamics with respect to our businesses. We're gonna start with the mothers this time, we're gonna do fathers next time. For no particular reason. Started out with mothers. So you're going to be in groups of 3 and 2. My apologies for the 1 and the 2. I will help you out with the 3rd role. We'll use cards. We'll make it work. But again, you're 5. 5. Who can do anything with 5? You can't split that up in anything. It's a prime damn number. Okay.
So these are 3 separate constellations we're going to be doing then, Leslie?
I will explain all.
Okay.
Explain everything. So you're going to get into your group of 3 or 2, and there are going to be 3 roles, and you're going to have 3 short constellations per person. So this is a whole exercise for 1 person. And And then we'll do it again for the second person, and then if there's a third person, you'll do it again for the third person. The whole exercise consists of 3 very short constellations that are all connected, okay? A is you, whoever the client of that constellation is you. B is the second person, and C is the third person, or a card. And I will be able to help you stepping in, but I need to be available, especially for this bit, which can get tricky. So you, your business, your mother, and this is just notice. There's no resolution, there's no work to be done. It's mostly to just notice what it's like. Does the business run away from mom? Does mom want to take over the business? Does mom give the finger to the business? Are the business and mom hooked at the joint and the representative for you is turned away? You know, we just want to see. These are all things I've seen, right? Or it could be Happy Land, which is always really nice. Your mom could show up and be really, really supportive, and your business and you feel really good. In which case, this will do no harm, and it might improve things a bit. Okay, so that's it. That should take less than 5 minutes, okay? It's just be really efficient, just notice the experience, and everyone reports to each other so that this person understands where you're, you know.
We're doing 5 minutes for each of the 3
I will
constellations.
get to it. You need to wait.
I'm just trying to understand.
So this first one is a 5 minutes or less, okay? Then you're gonna step out of the roles. You're gonna start a second one. Now the same person who was the mother, they actually don't really need to step out because they're gonna be the mom again, okay? I'm gonna do this in reverse order, and I'm gonna actually set this up for you a bit. B is going to represent the Divine Mother, the archetypal from which all congruent mothering comes, right? A is going to be shifting in and out of roles. And here's the way it's going to go. This is actually going to be physically set up. Again, we're looking down from the ceiling. C is going to be here, facing in this direction. Now, and mom is on the left, yes. So the Divine Mother is somewhere over here. B. And A, who is you. It's you. You're going to be having this experience as the daughters. Are just you're gonna stand here, feel what it's like to be supported congruently by the mother. Then you're gonna step out of that, leave a card there. I'll leave you plenty of cards. You're gonna step here, feel what it's like to be supported by this one, right? And then you're gonna leave a card there. You're gonna take this role, and if you're not entirely clear, don't worry, I'm gonna really help you out with this. Until we can get a line all the way to mom, hooked up with Divine Mother.
Oh, wow.
Okay? This generally has a positive effect on mom. The nice thing for you is that you get to feel these congruent mothers.
Wow.
So it's got a little double bonus in here. You get to feel it for yourself, what that's like. There is sometimes funny stuff that shows up here, and this is where I get creative in my facilitating. Just to let you know. Sometimes it's super straightforward. You just boom, 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 and mom goes, oh my God, I feel so much better. Yay. Once that's done, that could take a little bit longer. Could take 10 minutes. Yeah. Break again, go back into the original roles, except now C is that updated mother that she or he was at the end here. And then let's see what it looks like with the business. Again, very brief. It should feel much better to everybody. Okay? Yeepers? Okay, so I'm going to divide you into groups. If you're confused at all, don't worry, I will help you out. I'm going to have the 2 people with Guy. And so what you're going to need to do, we'll take out the electricity, but the other 2 hookups need to stay in for the computer to keep working. And you're just going to have to move Guy a little bit. Or you do your movements around him, okay?
The computer won't go to sleep if the.
It won't, for the time of this exercise, it won't drain out. Because it's, oh, it is draining out. Huh, this is not good. We don't have electricity. That's it, Mama. Thank you for even asking. Oh, because it got pulled out at some point. Oh, that's not good. So maybe we don't take it out. Because it's down to 29% right now. But it is charging. Okay, so, and the easiest thing to do with the mic is to like just have it right there. Yeah, and just be careful because it tends to make things, you can't just like re-plug it back in and everything's okay. The Wi-Fi goes out, anyway, so try and keep the plugs in. The electricity can fall out and it's no big deal. You just put it back in. So with Guy, it's gonna be Anya and Vicky, okay? Okay, because it's easier if you already have a little bit of a challenge with the computer. Let's give you 3 people, you 2, and I will help with cards and maybe someone sometimes stepping into one and the other, okay? The benefit is that you guys get to go a bit longer. Because there's only 2 of you. So, and you will need cards, so take plenty of cards. You won't need tons, but you'll need some. So, and I'll move this out of the way.
So we'll be in this vicinity, to be close to Guy. Are you feeling close to us, Guy?
Sure. So I've been lying on my bed. Should I be standing up and place the computer?
You're going to need to stand for the constellation so you can feel the rolls.
Okay, okay. All
But
right.
you obviously don't need to stay in the camera.
Yeah. Okay.
You can move around as long as we can hear you.
Yeah. I'm plugged in through my headphones, which has enough reach to my laptop.
Okay. Okay, so one of you guys decide to go first. Have yours done first. Choosing somebody.
I'm a little confused what we're doing.
Okay, then why don't you have yours done first?
So,
You don't have to do
put
anything.
those down for now.
All right, so let's see.
Okay, so you're
But you're not
you.
gonna need
Guy.
Business.
So why don't you assign her?
Yeah, why don't you have Guy be the biz and I'll be the mother, because you have to have the mother in every constellation.
Okay.
I think, yeah.
Ready?
Okay, so can I do my business? Okay,
I'm the mother.
no, you're the business, you're my business.
I'm the business. Okay.
You're the business, she's the mother. And cards,
Okay.
or do we just?
I think we need cards for the second one, but not for this one.
Okay, so while we're doing,
Okay.
handing
This is the 5-minute check-in. All right. So I'm Vicky's business.
So guys, since you can't see, I just came over and like put my arms around you as the
I
mother.
don't have anything against her.
Okay.
It's a little creepy when it gets too close.
Okay. Got it. Well, thank you, because that's interesting. How I was feeling before you did that, I was feeling kind of like hyperventilating, kind of like feeling on the, like trying to maintain control in some sense.
It's a little distracting.
When you came over
Attention,
and hugged me, I felt a little
negative attention.
better. Yeah. Feels better now. When it first started out, it felt like very, very kind of high-strung and kind of trying to maintain control. Feels better at this point.
Okay.
It's Vicky's. I'm the mother. Like my first instinct was to come over and put my arms around.
And how does that from your point of view?
I feel totally emotional. It seems fine to me. I need support. That feels good. Not resistant at all.
How was it to begin with before you guys started trying to make it feel better?
Well,
I tried to.
I wasn't trying to make it feel better, like that was my first
That was your movement.
thing
And it did
to
feel good
move.
too.
Yeah, and then I described what I did to Guy since he couldn't see.
Yeah.
So,
well, yeah. Once you described it, and I saw your arm in front of the camera, like I got that embracing kind of quality, and yeah, the business calmed down.
So, Mom, your business, what's your attention on Vicky, if any?
No,
Okay.
no, yeah. Well, one, I can't see all of her, but perhaps. There's okay.
No, actually stand in the spot because it means something that you don't want to be in the view shed.
Oh, okay. I
Right?
didn't even know there was a percentage.
Yeah. Obviously, if it was a person, he could see anywhere, but the field includes that this is happening on a computer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look at Sandy there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. Even with her in the field of vision, I don't have a lot of attention on her. Yeah, I like some part of me is sort of internally scanning for, hey, where did that sweet person go? Yeah, where's Mom? Interesting. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, there's Mom. Oh, okay. All right. Oh, okay. Feel better now.
She's holding while I'm gone.
So we'll notice how this is probably not perfectly useful, right?
Yeah.
The business should have more attention on you. It doesn't mean that Mom can't support the business. That's a really nice thing.
See, I was just wondering that. I was thinking, well, this feels fine. I feel like I don't have a burden. This is great. So it's
Yeah.
interesting. I
And we'll
wasn't,
just notice that's your business, not Mom's business. Yeah, right now. So you can break this.
Okay.
And then step out of the
Okay.
roll. Start to set it up like this. Yeah. So he's going to be the Divine Mother back here, and you're going to be Mom facing in that direction, like this. But you can
I just watched.
and then you're not gonna watch. You're gonna start here, and once he steps into the Divine Mother role. Once everyone's all stepped in, you're gonna be the daughter of this one.
daughter of the divine.
Mother. Yeah, feeling that support, and then you'll put in. And you guys bring that to a close and start arranging the new one. I'll be out in a second. And then once you feel that's sort of completed, you leave that. If we had 20 people, we'd have them all standing here. But then be the next one. And then place a card. Hopefully it'll feel congruent all the way down and it'll feel good to Mom, but it might not. So let me know and I will help out. Okay? Okay. And before you start, we just start out. Guy, are you stepped into the Divine Mother role?
Yeah.
Just turn around and look, and you move to the side for a second. Just notice what that feels like. Report to Vicky what that feels like here. And then you'll turn around again and start to do that. Okay.
It feels soothing. She's still kind of like,
She's still Mom,
hey, Carl.
and you're gonna be the daughters. And I will be the mom for now, the Divine Mom.
Okay.
And just to start out with Julie as mother, just turn around and look at the Divine Mother and report to her that experience.
So now I'm going to stand here, Guy. And
Yep.
absorb the divine mother behind me.
I just feel a lot of love for you. I mean, I want to say my daughter.
It's good to be seen.
Yeah, I see you. I totally see you. I really see you. Yeah. So won't you go ahead and step in here as the first daughter of the Divine Mother? How's that?
Okay. And then
Feel pressure.
once I got this anchored, then I just go forward? Or am I waiting for you
For a
to?
second. Remember
mother.
Just
I think
was
we
the
just keep
intention.
going.
Okay.
We're not,
Okay, so-
Laying down the path.
forcing ourselves into this role.
Step on your
You're stepping into the role of the first daughter.
What's divine?
I just want to check if there's a little bit of mixing up there.
Yeah, I don't want to be part of that news.
Do you want to be in the Divine Mother?
Yeah, I feel like I can do that.
Okay, why don't you step in here? Let's do the cards for a second. So Mom, can you just turn around and look at the new representative for the same role? Which is the Divine Mother? Actually, I don't like this. I don't want you to be Mom, your mom. No. Not like that. I mean, eventually you would be, but I just don't need, that felt too weird. I could feel the wrong case of that immediately. Okay. So either that, or you can just have the cards do it. Just put the cards down. But yeah, give it a try, see what happens. Now that you've noticed the feeling, it may drop back a little bit. See what happens. How are you doing, daughters? I just want to check what's going.
Yeah, it's, I'm seeing a whole lot. It's like, she has to come right with me. It's like, it cannot be my brother.
But does it feel good? In these roles, I don't mean as Vicky. It's not about Vicky.
Yeah,
It's about being in these daughter roles.
yeah, it feels fun.
Okay, good.
Process.
Good. That's all I want to know, because sometimes it gets a little snaggy. So I just want to know.
Well, that's good to see your son. I'm daughter, not Vicky.
No, you're not Vicky.
Okay.
You're serving Vicky in these roles right now.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's really important.
Yeah,
When you're in the daughter's role, you're a representative for the daughters of this lineage.
Mm.
That is your great-grandmothers, your great-great-grandmothers. This is what you're stepping into.
Okay. Well, that's a lot easier.
It's all the women behind your actual mom.
Yeah. What's that?
Your mom's mom, your mom's mom's mom, your mom's
Yeah,
mom's
okay.
mom.
Yeah, no, this is that, I want you to feel what it's like to have safe, congruent daughterhood, which makes you a congruent mother.
Yeah.
And this is why it applies to Guy as well when it's his turn. Right, because this is about mothers, it's not about whether you're a son or a daughter. How's it going?
Yeah, it's doing better.
Oh, good, yeah, well done. Maybe shock the system a little bit over there. I'll just stay up here for a second so you can keep feeling it.
The sensations dropping.
And again, you're gonna wanna end up at her, so just notice your diagonal a little bit. And if it's at the last one, that is your grandmother, your mother's mother, and it's feeling good, and go, right?
So I would be the one on it.
Yeah. Then go ahead and put your hand there, if it's feeling good, if it's feeling proper, if it's feeling congruent. And if it gets snaggy at all, just turn around and notice what you're supported by. So the mothers, all the way up to the Divine Mother who needs a shave. And and you're actually looking correctly. It's way up here. I mean, the Divine Mother's actually way up here. Each of the mothers is a little bigger. You're actually now kind of small. You're bigger than her, but that's it.
It's quite fun, grandmother.
So, on your shoulder, I'm going to step into the Divine Mother. I should be up on a step ladder. Right, and each one's a little higher up. I'm supporting one who's smaller than me. How you doing, Mom? Solid. Grounded. So let yourself feel that and breathe that a little bit, and then bring it to a close, and we'll do part 3. So just take a second with it. Don't rush out of it. How are you doing, Mother?
There was so much agitation before she came here.
Yeah, you're doing all the head rolls and everything.
And there was just this, felt those hands on my shoulders. I just immediately felt like this heavy, but like heavy enough that's reassuring. It's not like heavy was.
So you can say, that didn't feel like what I thought it'd feel like.
That didn't feel like what I thought it would be.
You can say, I get it.
I get it.
And then just look over your shoulder. Again, this one needs to go up on a step ladder. They go higher and higher and higher. Everything that's behind you. All this divine mother energy straight to the source. Breathe into this, be with us one more second. Don't rush out of it, but move into the third one. Okay? Okay, now I'll be the business again. So you're the updated mom. You're already in your role. Yeah. Do you want to make me your business again? I felt such a surge of joy.
Are we still in number 2?
Yeah.
Okay. We just broke number 2.
Whereas
We're
before,
gonna hit number 3.
now.
Okay.
She's here now. Feels really good.
Am I going back to being the business then?
Yes.
Okay.
We don't need these, right? Okay, we go back to that. So I am me, you're the business, and you're the updated
break from time to time when we've not the computer long enough.
Wow.
Yeah.
updated mother.
Yeah, I feel like the distance is respect.
Oh, wow.
You're not like outside of the room.
I feel so much more grounded, supported. It's like kind of ridiculous, actually. It's kind of night and day, like, really.
You do or you don't.
I mean, it's like, it's just, I feel really solid. I feel very grounded. Like,
It's just a nice.
yeah. And I'm looking for you. Where are you? I'm looking for Vicky. Where is she? Hey, there she is.
Hey, my
It's my buddy. Oh,
I created you.
Yeah. My playmate.
Huh?
My playmate.
Yeah.
My you know, getting to adventure, buddy.
Yeah, that's how we started this whole thing. It's kind of gotten past that.
Vicky,
Yeah.
mom, business.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like I want to see you now.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see you.
Yeah, and I definitely feel solid and grounded. Like I definitely echo that sentiment.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And this is a good place for you?
Mm-hmm.
It does feel good to you, Deb? That one there?
Yeah. Feels great.
Okay.
Just finding it.
Okay, breathe this for a second, Vicky.
Yeah.
And then you can bring it to a close. Okay.
Rocket.
Your next one.
Guy, do you want to be next?
Sure. I can be next.
Okay, so you're you. Who do you want to be your business, and who do you want to be the mother?
Okay.
Why don't you, Anya, be my business, and Vicky, you can be my mother.
Okay.
So just so you know, I'm getting down on the floor right now.
Got it, yeah. Okay. Huh. Well, I can't see anybody right now, but I can see the easel.
I am having a hard time
For just a
looking
second,
at
I
you.
feel what it's like to be behind you.
You're having a hard time what?
Looking at you, like
just-
looking in that direction where you are.
Yeah. It's like you're pretty much totally off screen.
Like this.
And so is my mom, interestingly enough. This is fascinating.
But we're totally across from each other.
That's really fascinating. Okay, well, I'm curious as to how you feel in relation to my mother.
You want the first round?
Can't really look at her except for her feet.
Hiding business. Hiding the business.
I can see her legs and I'm not, like, I can't look up to see all of her.
Wow.
So I'll be flying with her again.
And I feel a little like just distracted, not really caring.
So don't spend too much time in the first one.
Okay.
Okay? As soon
Just
as
filling
you
it?
have a feeling for the structure of it,
Okay.
we're going to close, because we got to make sure you all three get in tonight.
Right, okay. So you got that guy?
Yeah, not really caring, distracted. Yeah.
Little distant to all of it.
Yeah.
Duty, but not really
So
involved.
for just a moment, look at this one.
Judy, did you say?
I feel like I'm in duty or obligation, but not fully.
Okay, not inspiration. Yeah. Got
Okay,
it.
all right.
Okay.
So we can break for the second one?
Yep.
Okay,
How's
so
that
should
for
we physically move you along the pathway, or do you want to just,
You can stay like
Move
this right
in
now. At the end,
steps.
you know, you turn in order to have.
like, do you want
It's
to
fine.
step where you are?
Want to be facing
Like, do the
this.
steps?
Yeah, I think it might be better if I actually step
Okay.
physically where I am.
I'll step. See, I'm the mother side. No, I saw. Oh, we can change it. No,
The first part of this one.
You're still the mother, you're gonna be standing
Eventually,
facing
I'll be
the
away.
next one, and leave a card.
Okay.
as if
But I
they
think
get
you'll be
really
behind.
small. We'd actually have them, we'd leave them there. So just leave.
So, and then the daughters. Oh,
Yeah.
so I'm doing
And make sure
the,
it feels good and congruent.
No, I'm doing a daughter. You, Anya, if we do the same the way that we did,
divine mother. I'm
you're gonna be Divine Mother, Anya.
right, okay, so,
So yeah, kind of get behind the computer, behind me.
Yeah, so Anya's behind you
Okay.
for Divine Mother.
Okay.
She's big.
Actually, I want to help these guys.
Okay. Got it.
So I'll be.
Okay. I'm taking that in.
So slightly different.
You-
You need to actually come and be right here,
okay.
right?
Right.
Okay, she's right
Yeah.
behind you now.
And actually maybe, touch base if you can with the computer screen. And you are the first daughter, Guy,
I'm the first daughter. Okay.
of the
Got it.
Divine Mother. Have this stuff that way, just so it can angle in.
Okay.
Does that feel,
Oh, it does feel good.
okay?
Grounded, feels present.
Actually, I'm gonna ask
He's
this.
gonna step where he is.
You want me to? That's how I was thinking of doing it. What do you think, Leslie?
Actually, we need to do it on both sides.
Okay. All right.
Can you just move about 4 feet back? We're just gonna do it less and there'll be more. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Okay, so yes, you step where you are.
Okay.
Move you.
I'm gonna take a step. Nice.
There you go.
Ah. Wow. It's interesting. This one, if anything, feels like even a little bit more joyful because it's like I'm the first granddaughter. Boy, do they love the fuck out of me, man. Yeah.
Nice way to put it. Okay, we're gonna step and be the first great-granddaughter.
Okay, okay.
Take a little step to your right, just so we can angle it a bit. Thank you. How's that?
Yeah, and my grandmother's the first daughter. Oh.
And how are you doing, Mother, generally?
A little disengaged.
Could you look over your shoulder at the Divine Mother? And some of the daughters who are...
Earth Mother.
Yes, she really is.
Divine Mother.
Ready to take a step, Guy?
Yep, yep.
Okay, that's gonna be as far as I can go. I can unhook that for a minute.
Huh.
Okay, Guy?
Yeah, if anything, it feels like I'm almost back to like the first daughter position. It feels that grounded and solid.
So it's just one more step. You're gonna be Mother's mother.
Okay.
And put out your hand on Vicky, and you guys can take it from there.
Okay.
I felt that.
Whoa.
Oh, that's interesting. My computer works. Wow, it's just like a charge that just broke the isolation of being alone, doing it all
That's
alone.
when you turned around. You see right.
Ooh, that was nice.
You're still feeling okay? Excellent. And then before you move here, notice you have a daughter. Just notice. So there's a lot of attention this way. Just notice that you got these. Okay? And then go ahead and step into her. And then if and when it feels comfortable, go ahead and touch the mother. And just, guys, kind of, that hand right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm still here, but it feels like I've almost come to the end of the download.
Mm-hmm.
How are you? Good.
Okay.
Okay. Then allow it just to be for a second.
Yeah.
And you're feeling
Okay.
pretty calm?
I was feeling so disconnected and now I'm reconnecting and it's a little dizzying feeling.
Okay. So look over your shoulder again at the lineage through the mothers.
Almost like they're not real. It's trying to become real here.
Can you say unreal?
I'm real.
Say it again.
I'm real.
This is more real than the stuff you think is real.
This is more real than the stuff you think is real.
And it will feel unreal for a little while.
And it will feel unreal for a little while.
That's like, oh, yeah.
So go ahead and turn
So
again and
funny.
just feel it.
Yeah.
Does it help to have an actual physical hand on the back?
At first I didn't need it. Boy, it was like a shiver from him, but try it and let's see if this really helps. Let's see if I can. Yeah. Whoa, it's like this body doesn't know. And this daughter. This is cool, my mother.
Your mother.
This one.
I kind of re-engaged my energetic hands.
Yeah, thanks.
Some powerful mojo, man. Divine Mother. Fucking hell.
Yeah, gets it and then leaves it. Gets it and leaves it. Comes and then it can't hold it. That's what it keeps doing. And it's getting a little easier.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah.
Cross-legged on the ground. Then you don't have to stand so much.
Oh, okay.
And shift back about 2 or 3 inches, just so the walls are. So I'm just looking at it. There you go. That's better.
Oh, there's some head on there.
There we go. So be with that for a few minutes and see if that, moments, not minutes.
Mhm.
Hey, guys.
Yeah, energetic hands on your shoulders, Vicky.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it feels good. This body looks like it's been frozen, this mother, and doing, what she has to do.
By the way, I'm not trying to arrange
And,
things the same.
become unfrozen. It's
The final
interesting.
arrangement will be
Nice. Good to hear. Oh.
Mhm.
More space. And this attention is easy.
Would it feel okay to you to try and stand behind me? I don't want you to do something that doesn't feel right for the role.
Yeah, re-engage right before you did that again.
Mhm.
I'm feeling hungry for some support. Do you want to touch me?
Love pouring down. Love pouring down.
Mhm.
That's new. I haven't had that before. I haven't had the hook up with your lineage. That's so weird. Feel like plugged into source or something. Like I'm plugged in, like she put a plug into an outlet in the back. How are you doing?
Whew.
Everything. The shirts.
Okay, I'm starting to come out of isolation.
Yeah.
Starting
Yeah.
to feel more real. Mhm. I can start to actually see a connection that feels more real or seems more real.
Yeah, it's like I'm having the experience of like just emptying, just allowing all the love to pour through me, like and so that at the end of my life, I've let it all flow through me.
Mm.
I'm glad you're here.
Okay.
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 And I
Wow.
would say this if I hadn't been in person.
Okay.
Okay,
Woohoo!
so number 3.
Thank you.
Okay.
Ooh, that was wild. That was for you.
So
Wow.
you're the updated mother.
Okay,
Guy's him, and I'm the business.
that's right. So I'm the updated,
Glad to be obvious to your son.
or we just go.
Go wherever you feel called.
Okay, where are you guys? Hey.
Yeah.
Hey. I can almost see you. Anya, your head is cut off, but hey, there we go. Hey. Aw, Mom. Hi, Mom.
Hi.
Hi, business. It feels so good to see you guys.
So, this position feels good to you? Would you be willing to put your hand there? Does that feel
Yeah.
proper?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Okay. Well, I was just actually thinking of something just really simple like this.
Yeah, this feels just way too much.
Yeah,
And this feels way better.
yeah.
Your hand is frozen. Okay, what, just on the small of her back, or?
Yeah, right in the, actually between my scapula.
Okay, but touching you or just behind you?
Yeah.
Touching. Okay.
Yeah. And I'm just
I'm so happy to be able to see you guys.
It is not an uncommon ending. It's not always. I mean, the endings are all different, but one of them is feeling the lineage support for the business.
you mind if I go through here again in the meditation modification?
Sure. If that could happen fast, that would be awesome. But don't worry too much about the shoes.
Thank you.
That's all right. So one of the endings is feeling the ancestral lineage supporting the business. Like hooked up, inspired, download, blah, 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 from that ancestral thing. Yeah. Sometimes the proper place for mom is behind the person. It varies a lot. This feel good, Guy?
Feels good.
Okay, bring it to a close.
All right. Cool. Thank you. Thank you, ladies.
Okay.
All right. We have one more to go, don't we?
Yeah. Me. Okay. Should we put Guy back over there?
Yeah.
Plug them back in.
And just be careful with the legs. Okay. Okay, so get started on the last one.
So, alright, are you okay being in the other again?
No, not again.
Oh, not again?
No, have him switch off. Oh, it is easier if he's well, no, it's easier for him to be the mother.
Really?
Because then he sits in one place.
Be in one place.
Yeah.
Okay. You're mother.
I'm gonna be the mother.
Yeah. You're
Okay.
you run your business.
And I'm your business. You're you.
Okay.
So you guys want to do it again?
Fascinating. I feel a little anxious and apprehensive. Interestingly enough.
And you're the mother? Yeah, that's right.
I'm the mother. I feel a little anxious, a little apprehensive. This one over here in my frame of vision that I can see completely kind of moving back and forth, not helping with my anxiousness.
That's the business, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's the business.
I feel a little bit like a petulant kid that I'm trying to get your attention.
Yeah. I'm like I feel like this one at any point is gonna reach out and do something kind of mischievous / perpy or something. I don't know.
Yeah, not pervy, just wants to play.
And this gesture is what? Just to make connection or support?
Yeah,
Or
I don't know, just like, yeah, to make connection.
so you may not see that your daughter is touching you. You may feel
Yeah.
that.
That's okay. Okay.
And where's your attention, Anya?
On the mother.
Yeah, completely. Yeah. Do you notice this at all? When it's jigging a little bit?
Yeah, a little bit. But I'm like, okay, it's right there. I don't need to look at it right now. It's fine what it is. Like, I need to look at her right now.
And then, Mom, can you just say to Anya, your business is making me nervous. Guy?
Anya, your business is making me nervous.
Okay, so let's bring that first one to a close.
Okay. All right. Okay, so let's see.
So now Guy gets to be, why don't we just work behind Guy? Like, he can be where he is. And okay.
Yep.
You'll be.
I am the mother.
I'm the mother, and
No, you're the divine mother.
I'll be the divine mother, and you be.
And I be the daughters.
Yeah.
And then Guy can just be where he is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, and then maybe the fathers.
So if you get up on the chair, just for 1 minute. So Guy, you're your mom right now. Anya, if you could step out of the way for 1 second. I just want you to see the Divine Mother. This is if you're looking over your shoulder.
Okay. Give it a sec for it to reset. Hang on. Like all I see is your Okay. Got it.
How is that?
Oh. God, it feels good. It feels like I'm not alone, and like, oh, that feels even better. Yeah, it feels like I'm not alone, and it feels like I don't have to do everything by myself. Like there's someone bigger than me.
Okay. Okay. Nice. Okay. Good. Okay. So I'm going to turn you away again.
Okay.
And you can start, Anya. And you'll just feel the energy of the daughters coming towards you, the mothers, really, from your point of view.
Yep.
Does Vicky touch me?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. As soon as you feel kind of congruently good, like that's working. Yeah. And you can keep your hand out just as if that one's still there. You're still touching it. Yeah. And this one's touching you. Excuse me.
There's this one.
How about one more?
One more.
No, kicking the mothers around. It just feels congruent before you step into the next one. Like, oh, yeah, this feels really good to be here.
So then the next one is this one.
And as long as it feels congruent.
Is this the mother's mother now, Anya?
Yeah.
Ah.
And that one is touching you now.
And my whole system is just like relaxing and letting go.
And the mother is being represented by Guy. Just look over your shoulder. We're not going to move the computer, but look over your shoulder and see the line going up. Just
Feels good. Makes me smile. Makes me feel supported. Ah.
So if that's feeling good, that happened really swiftly. Well, the fathers make it more interesting. Yeah, we'll see. One usually has a tricky side and an easier side.
Cool.
We'll go into the third round.
This was the third.
It's
Oh, the second round.
Second round of the third round. The second round of the third. Why don't you just tap Vicki again so that she gets.
Thank you.
Yes. Oh, wow. That's different.
Oh, wow. Wow. Wow, it's nice to see you.
It's so good to see the two of you getting along. So
Yeah, she'll play with me again. Yeah, look at that.
oh, you're making your mother very happy.
What's it, Russian on mom's side? Or, yeah, so you gotta say it in a Russian accent,
I
guys.
sounded a little too Jewish.
Oh,
New York there.
yeah, I know.
But it was good.
Mom, are you in the right position with respect to them, looking at them from here, or is there some other spot you'd like to be in? As they,
You know, it feels good to me. It just being able to see them and see them happy, it just means the world to me. It just makes me so happy. Of course, I want to come over and give them a kiss on the cheeks, but
So let's presuppose that.
Mwah. Mwah.
And then, can you just return attention to each other rather than, because that seems like the real, so that mom gets to see you looking at each other.
This makes me happy.
It's nice, yeah. That's good.
Yeah.
It's interesting. It feels like a daughter, almost like I get to be acknowledged as a creation of yours. The business. It's like, oh, maybe you created me and you can see me. You played.
So be with that for a second or two, just feel that in your heart, how that feels. And then when that feels complete enough, then you'll close.
Thank you.
All right. Yay.
We're getting to a close, yay team.
Yay, team.
Back to present.
Again, it's always useful to grab both sides and then that leg doesn't fall out. Okay. So let's regather. Good job, everyone. So we're at about 20 of. So let's just start for a minute, just any shares about that, if there are any. Comments, ahas, you just want to bathe in the energy and you want to talk about it. Always generally useful after constellations, but sometimes. And what I also just want to say that I notice is that as useful as your own constellations were for you, stepping into the roles in other people's constellations, I could see we're doing really nice things, stepping into the Divine Mother, into someone's mother who's getting updated, having that experience. Tends to have very positive effect.
Yeah. I felt such a huge healing just now when I heard Vicki say that as my business that she is my creation, like that I created her, or that I created the business, and that she gets that I can see her, and it was just really. There was something about it that was so incredibly validating.
Interesting.
Around, I'm so kind of letting go of my decision not to have kids in this lifetime. I've been doing that work for the last 2 years, and really intensively. And it finally feels like it's coming to a close. Like it's really softening and moving out of my space. And so just like having that. Really, that acknowledgement of well, you chose to create this, and this is actually your baby.
You're in the lineage of the mothers.
Yeah. I still get to be in the lineage.
And you're respecting the Divine Mother energy in this way.
Yeah, so thank you for that.
Yeah, so sweet. And we'll notice a sentence like that is very particular for others in the group. It goes, oh, that's a nice thing to say, but fine. But for Anya, it would rang her bell.
Yeah.
It's certainly wasn't premeditated, it just came out. Like a child would say, it's so great. Yeah, you can see me. You created me, now you can see me. Yay! We can pray.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, the update, the mother update was really, really interesting. That was for.
When you were in Guys.
For guys,
Yeah.
yeah, wow, it was like asleep at the wheel, I could barely wake up and come in, it was really interesting. Then at the end, I did feel more, I felt real again.
Yeah. Some of our mothers were more disconnected from their mother lineage than other mothers in the room. And that shows up in the constellation, that break or a loss in the lineage.
Yeah, it felt like so much alone, isolation, and having to somehow do it like by remote or something, like that disconnection. Wanting to do a good job, not a bad person at all, nothing like that. It just was that disconnection.
No gas in the tank.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
just keeping on going, like on
Sure will.
automatic.
Yeah.
Disconnected and automatic and dutiful. Became a dutiful thing rather than.
Yeah.
And it feels so good to us when our parents get supported.
Oh,
It just feels so good to us.
like, oh, and I get to relax now too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it felt really great.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a nice
And you'll
little-
notice that I didn't need to do much futzing in any of your constellations. The last group, we had some interesting experiences in the mother constellations. But that one little intervention of having her sit down, I could just see she just needed to rest more. She needed to lean more.
That's why you did that, yeah. Boy, that really felt great. She
Yeah.
just needed that. So
Even the standing on her feet was giving the wrong communication.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It was like she just had to be small to receive that download without passing out or trying to hold it, Yeah. It was really cool.
Nice.
Thank you both so much. Yeah,
Mhm.
great, amazing.
Great.
Other shares or comments from this? Again, not required, but if you want to.
Just, just kind of astonished at how powerful the shifts were. It's like, holy crap. In general, not just mine, but I mean all of them. It was like kind of, whoa, quite kind of like, before and after. Yeah.
It's funny, we were doing this experimental workshop last weekend that I think all of you got invited to, but only Vicky got to.
Cool.
Someone at one point went, "Damn, this shit works." Who's been doing it for almost 10 years. So every once in a while, you remember how amazed you are that this shouldn't work.
Yeah, that was really cool.
That will happen again, other times. Other comments or thoughts? By the way, really sweet representing with each other. Just you guys are so supportive of each other. It's so nice. And also, if there's lingering discomforts or anything, that's okay too. It doesn't have to be all puppy dogs and kitty cats all the time. Just most of the time. So if people have said enough about that, let's just open up the frame before we leave. So today our themes were the mother stuff and how it connects with our business, clearing up some of that so that it can be a supportive energy rather than any kind of interfering or blocking energy. Or in constellation so that we're not entangled with taking care of the mother lineage in some way. And the spirituality piece and the stealth mission. So just share your main take home for today. what you really want to take home with you?
For me, I'm just really still sitting with that piece I did for Guy, which I think was very germane to me.
Yeah, there's a resonance there.
There's a
yeah.
very resonant, yeah, where
Yeah.
I'm just feeling it. It's like, oh, still just like, whoa, I had no idea how much I was doing it alone. You know, and carrying way too much and looking for support everywhere. It's like there's nowhere. It's
So
like,
can you just somewhere in space go, hi guys, mom,
hi guys, mom, thank you.
I'm kind of like you.
Yeah. I was totally in it. I was like, oh, thanks. This is great. I can't feel it. Yes, I can. Let it in, let it in. Okay. So I was still sitting in it.
Love you guys, mom.
Yeah.
I understand.
What's her name? So I know her. Let's see.
Fern. Like the plant. Fern.
Fern. Hi, Fern. Got it. Aww. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's still becoming real. That's what I'm realizing. It's just like, whoa, like knocked off. The cells are waking up.
Excellent.
Yeah, it's nice.
Other take homes?
I feel like I'm taking home a greater, just more confidence, like more foundation for how I operate, for the decisions that I make about business and how I interact with people in my business, and just this feeling of, I'm fine. Like I just need to keep making more, decisions about structure and just keep growing what use what I've done so far as the foundation for like where my business is going next, and not see it as like I feel like in the past I was just seeing it as like this needs to dissolve before, and then I can be free to do this other thing. But it's really, there's no, like, I don't have to cut off anything. It's just a continuation. So that feels really good.
Well, self-rapport. Self-rapport.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah.
I'm so pleased we talked about the stealth mission. Especially after just having these conversations with a friend and with myself. Yeah, with the stealth mission. Wow, I've just gone nonverbal. I don't know. I'm just enjoying the feeling from that.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
just,
Yeah.
I wish I could give it in health action.
It's super melty.
Just take it home.
It's so melty.
Oh, melty. There's the word.
Yeah.
Julie or Guy? Take home?
Well, I already shared mine, so I'll.
Well, no, any other now we're in more general take-home space. Around the spirituality piece or the motor piece or anything else.
Well,
and if there's nothing to add, that's fine.
Yeah, no, I mean, someone commented, and I don't know who it was. I think it was Anya, like how happy she was that she found you, and I feel likewise because, not only because of the sort of congruent alignment from our background at NLP Marin, but also because of your comfort with and allowing for the divine and spirituality, like in a fairly direct and explicit way, even as you also strive to be non-sectarian. It just feels good. It just works really nicely for me, especially where I am right now, where I'm like I'm in 12 days of getting seriously cooked by the divine. No joke. Yeah, so it just feels good. Happy to be here.
Yay.
Yep.
take home or just a yawn?
There's something, what's interesting, whatever I was getting, but wasn't trusting that I was getting what that was about. You know, there was it was like I could feel that there wasn't something missing. I don't know, I had some attachment to wanting it to make sense in a certain way, which I think is a lot of what I struggle with in this process with my business, is this that I should have some clarity about something, know something by now, by sometime, by some blah, 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 whatever. And yet I also have a deep knowing that this process is part of the process. The state that I'm experiencing, and that there isn't a timeline for it. So that was a use, and the sort of wandering off the path can show you the path. There's just something about that whole, my struggle with wanting to make some kind of sense and understand was I don't know, it was a very meta experience for me of my own current state.
Well, how skillful for noticing your own process to be able to go meta to it. I mean, that's just don't do that very often, that quickly.
Well,
it's usually a few days later, at least, if I do it at all. So,
but it was exactly like, I was like, it can't be that simple. It has to be more complicated. I must be missing something. What am I missing?
Why exactly?
So that's kind of, I think, what some version of myself would be saying to me in this process, or sort of like you're in it. You don't need to be understanding it. You're just in it.
And it's a spectrum, because there are times when there are very clear convictions arise. Like, oh, it's this, and you can name it and you can hold it, and it's very concrete. And there are other times when it's really vague, and then there's everything in between. So,
but it's something about the naming of it that I think that I have an idea that I'm attached to, which creates some trauma, that I should have that it needs to have some layer of complexity, when I think it actually might be very
it does end up being
obvious. I already know what it is, but I have this idea that it needs to be more complicated or something.
And I'm just thinking about ecology, and if you want to work on it at some point, but I'm wondering if there's some intended positive outcome around maintaining the impression of confusion. That there's something there that makes something safe. So, because I can feel the safety patterning in there. There's something scary, even as you're looking at it, really, really calm.
One question that came up in my mind is like, does simple equal dumb? Like sometimes
it doesn't feel like that. That doesn't feel like the structure. I do know that I was taught growing up very explicitly that happy people are like superficial.
That's what I was like.
So better to be deep and unhappy.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, like complexity equals intelligence.
Yeah.
Simplicity equals lack of thereof.
And following some sort of divine guide is a simple, non-intellectual path. That would be my, sort of upbringing around that. So there's a part of me that, So that was
cool. Good for you for watching your process like that. Really, really skillful. Okay. My takeaway is it was nice stumbling on that and soul retrieval business. I wonder if I can trademark that.
What was the name?
Over 1,000 souls retrieved. Obviously, I'm not doing it in a strictly shamanic kind of. It's usually not literally about they left it behind in Vietnam or something like that. That happens too. But it's usually they just lost it somewhere.
Hmm.
Nice.
Hmm.
Okay, so any last things before I send you off? Questions, logistics?
Thank you for making this work logistically, Leslie.
You're welcome. Yeah, yeah. Well, it's fortunate. There's some history of doing this.
Cool.
I'm glad you were able to join us. It's very, very late on the East Coast. Go to bed, guy.
Yes, I want to go to bed now. I gotta go to sleep.
Go to sleep, guy.
Go be a
Okay.
pumpkin.
Good night.
Bye.
Go
Good
be-
night.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
It's turning midnight where he is.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye. Talk to you later.
Yep. Bye.
Bye, guy.